Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Charlie's Corner. I'm in a corner. Hopefully the lighting is good and everything. Am I? Is it? Anyway, I want to explain to you guys exactly what Charlie's Corner is. First of all, Charlie's Corner is a more personal show. It is me giving my opinions, giving my observations, giving my true feelings on a lot of subjects that aren't talked about either on the Charlie Show or Charlie's Edition. So on this show is where I'm going to divulge all of my feelings towards stuff. These are so good. So, thank you for watching. If you are tuning in to the show, I want to get on to some topics that I definitely want to get off my chest. This is what happened to me this morning / the entire afternoon. Let me begin. It was a very interesting morning. I had to take my car in to get some repairs done on it. And blah, blah, blah. So I woke up at about 8 o'clock, went over to the place to get my car repaired, dropped it off. Now the main guy that basically was going to repair my car asked one of the other mechanics to give me a ride home. Because of the fact that because I dropped my car off, I didn't have anybody else to give me a ride. So I said I'll just go ahead and take the ride from him. So basically it's this big black guy. Not even attractive whatsoever. We get in the car, he starts driving me home. And, he's telling me stories, trying to keep up conversation about the job that he's had, being like a roofer, doing pipes, just stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Then he started telling me about his family, about his wife and his kids, blah, blah, blah. About how his daughter's in school, all kinds of stuff. And I'm just listening. But at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, can he drive and just get me home? So finally, we pull up to my apartment. And he asked me how much these apartments go for. And I'm like, well, they go for $310 a month. And he's like, really? He's all excited about it. He's all interested in the fact that the apartments are only $310. So I said, okay. He was like, can I just, look inside real quick just to see what they look like? I thought it was a harmless request, a harmless question. So what did I do? I allowed him to come in and look around at my apartment. So then he walks in. I walk in first, then he walks in. The next thing I notice him do is close the door behind him. I'm thinking, okay, weird. So then he's looking around the apartment and everything. And then on his way out, which I thought he was leaving, he was like, so you like guys, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gay. And then he's like, can you give me a blowjob? Really? A blowjob? Really? I was just in total shock. I was like, I cannot believe you actually asked me that. So after he asked me that question, I was like, no. I was like, I'm not a prostitute or whatever. And then I was like, I cannot believe you're even asking me that question. You work for the company I bought my car from, the mechanics who's working on my car, and you're going to ask me to give you a blowjob? Really? So of course in my mind I'm like, oh my god, like really? So then after I say no, he's like, well, I hope I didn't offend you. And he leaves out of the apartment. Now, of course, at that time, I had the instinct to pick up the phone and just immediately call his boss and be like, I cannot believe that your mechanic just asked me if I can give him a goddamn blowjob. Really? I said, I am not that kind of girl / boy. So I didn't wind up calling them because I felt like if I called his boss and told him, it would have been more like a he said, she said type thing. And of course, he's going to be in denial, and he's going to deny it, and then it's going to be like, how do I prove that he even said something like that? Because then I was thinking maybe it was my fault that I even let him in the first place to check out my apartment. I don't know. So, I just didn't go through with it. I just felt like, you know, that it wasn't going to go anywhere, that I didn't have enough evidence, and maybe that's a huge bad thing on my part. Because it was weird, because then when I went back to pick up my car, he wasn't there, thank God, but just no comment. I've never in my life been asked a question like that by someone of a professional status. Of course, the place I take my car is a scam anyway, so no comment. It was just so weird, like, I'm like, does gay, you know, if gay is written on my forehead, it does not spell out prostitute. I mean, okay, if he was hot, if he was a hot mechanic, maybe I would have considered, as terrible as that sounds, but he was not a hot mechanic. He was fat, he smelled funny, just no. Asking me some question like I'm just all off the street. So, I had to talk about that. It was really weird. No comment. What would you have done? Please leave me your comments. Please leave me your answers, anything. Tell me what you would have done yourself in this situation. Because, of course, I told my neighbors, I told my friend, and they was like, he would have been finished, he would have been dropped. Everything. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should have took it as a compliment. Nah. That was straight up inappropriate, not professional. No comment. So let me know what you guys think about that. So, now on to topic number 2. Really? Topic number 2? Okay, this actually just happened to me maybe about 20 minutes ago. Okay, now I met a friend offline, you know, not looking for anything sexual, anything perverted, inappropriate, whatever. I just said, hey, let's, you know, meet, let's talk, whatever, blah, blah, and he agreed. So he comes over, right? We come inside, we talk for a minute. Then he's like, let's go outside so I can smoke my cigarette. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, my neighbor that is up the street, this black guy, gay, or he is straight, but he always sends off clues that he's gay, like, and he says that he's had experiences and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And he's even told me that he likes white boys, which my friend was a white guy. So, me and my friend are having the conversation outside, minding our own business, me trying to get to know him, and his ass comes walking down the goddamn hill, and then sits down right next to my friend and I, and starts jibber-jabbing about shit. I don't even know what the hell he was talking about. I couldn't even understand it, because normally when he says conversations, I can't understand anything he says. But he's sitting there, talking to my friend. He's like, what's your name? All flirting with him and stuff. I was like, really? I was like, total competition. That is so wrong, so not right. I'm like, I'm trying to get to know this person right here. You need to see your way out and go bye-bye. And don't be trying to flirt with my newly acquired friend. Go back to Chomoville where you belong. I was like, really? I was just pissed. And on top of that, I gave him the dirtiest possible diva-ish gay look that you could possibly give anybody. And what did he do? He just looked at me like, ugh, I can do so much better than you, you bitch. And I'm like, really? Fuck you. So yeah, he stayed there until the minute my friend had to leave. Basically flirting. I was like, you goddamn asshole. So as soon as, of course, my friend left, I was like, I gotta go. And I just went inside. But, ooh, I should take advice from my own show. On Charlie's Edition last week, I was talking about jealousy, enviness, and possessiveness. Yeah, no comment. That's how I felt. It's like, don't come over here stealing my thunder, you jackass. So, what would you have done in that situation? So, any comments or suggestions or anything that you guys have to give me advice on or anything about these two topics I just talked about, please leave your comment and stay tuned to part 2 of Charlie's Corner, where we're going to talk about a lot more things I have on my mind. Stay tuned.